Oh,
Isn't
Civ
out?
6 is coming out soon.
Yeah.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. I've heard that it's really great and the gameplay is really good, from a
Gotcha.
first person point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Civ 6, from what I've seen, there's actually been quite a bit of controversy because of the visual style is a little bit more cartoony than
Really?
Civilization 5. Civilization 5 had a more like it was more of a straightforward and a little bit more serious kind
Right.
of game, but like stylistically, I feel Civilization, the series in a whole, has always been a goofy series to begin with.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's a turn-based strategy where you have figures representing armies and all. So I don't know how concerned I am of what graphical style they use.
Like, put it into retrospective. One of the Civ games, I don't remember which, you can have Elvis as your advisor.
Yeah, so that as long as the actual gameplay is fun and talk about a complicated game. That game's far more complex than a lot of stuff.
I always played like the science victories just because I've always loved building up
I'm trying to think. I've only beat it a few times. I've been trying to, I don't think I've ever beat it on Civilization 5, like 8-player medium-sized and king difficulty or something.
Oh
It's a hard
god,
game.
me and my friends, like I had a group of friends who would play nothing but Civilization. We had 8 players. We still have I think we've 2 years into this game, we still haven't even
done?
finished. No, we're not done.
It takes forever. I can't imagine that too, because you have to wait because it's turn-based. You're waiting for everybody else to take their turn. Like, dude, come on.
Well,
Dude.
in the at least the cool thing about it is they have simultaneous turn taking.
Right,
so
right. You're not waiting for but if they decide that they're dicking around, looking and seeing if they want to build that city here or over here, do I want to put over here? Like, dude, just go.
Just go, man. Come on, roll your turn.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that. And of course, if we get enough people, Artemis Bridge Simulator,
Yes.
we got to play that.
Yes, we have to try that. Talk about what that is.
So for all of you Star Trek fans out there, I'll be honest, I'm not as big as he is.
Huge Star Trek.
Yeah, I've only just recently got into it, but I do love it. It's a faithful recreation of the bridge you would find on the Enterprise. So each person would have their own roles. So you have the captain, they're in charge of the main view screen and barking orders, typical. You would have your officers in charge of weaponry. You have your engineering in charge of the engines.
Yeah, ops and science, I think.
Yeah, ops and science, your shields, similar stuff like that. And you can do PvP, or you could do I think there's a campaign for
Right.
it. There's a huge array of different ships you can pick from.
But the cool thing is you set up in your living room.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Because when I heard about it, I'm like, okay, so it's some virtual thing. You need to have a graphics card, and maybe it's first person or third person, and you're on. No, you set it up in your living room.
Yeah,
and your
you-
TV screens your.
Yeah, even I thought it was so dorky, but even the trailer for the game
Yeah.
has the developers doing a typical Star Trek style presentation.
do.
Everybody dressing in
I
uniforms.
give people call them ensign. You get to be a commander. And all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Oh hell no, I ain't being no ensign.
You can be a lieutenant commander. But yeah, that's what's so cool about it. You set up in your living room. Again, I thought it was going to be everybody networks in and you all sit at home, but this is going to be bring your laptop or whatever, set it up in a ring with the captain in the middle using the TV as the view screen. Everybody else has their laptop or their piece,
Yeah, the cool thing is
So
it
cool.
It does have touchscreen support. So if you do have touchscreens
tablet.
yeah, or tablet support, the cool thing, because a lot of people think this is a boon for the game. The visual style is very simplistic. It
Doesn't
looks
matter.
like PlayStation 2 graphics
Yeah.
kind of thing. But I feel because of that, you don't have to limit yourself on hardware. You can have a friend just pick up a laptop and say,
That's what's
hey,
great
we're
about
playing
it.
Star
yeah,
Trek.
and that should be the key. It should be, you want to. I mean, no one getting 7 people to bring their big ass PCs with screens and all
Oh,
over.
God.
So yeah, make it run on tablet, make it run on a laptop, even an older laptop or whatever. And it's going to be all about the gameplay. It's going to be about sitting in your living room and going, dude, fire weapons. Weapons are down. I can't. You get us out of here. And you're, and you're looking at the
Engage.
Yeah, so it's not going to be about the graphics. The only problem is finding enough nerds to play it. I was going to tell my team at work, where we have 7 people, including myself, that we were going to do a team building exercise. We sit in a pod that's basically a circle. It looks like the bridge of the Defiant from Deep Space Nine, where if you put a chair in the middle and the screen up front and had people in these little stations around you, you're basically on a Defiant class starship. And you
That
can be
would
barking
be
orders.
super
Amazing.
kick-ass. Getting paid to play Star Trek.
So I'm considering if I could really say, no, this is a team building exercise. Everybody's got to stay.
How well do you think management will buy that?
I'm management. I can make them do it. No, I don't know. I don't know if it would be an issue or not. But it's very tempting to say, come on, we're just going to try it. So anyway, so let me talk real quick about some of these VR games because they're pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, I can't wait to even start
Yeah,
playing
let's
them.
Try a few of them. So one of them is called Fated, and Fated, that is. It's okay. The graphics are cartoony, but they look good. The problem is it's more of an interactive movie. And we'll set this up for you to play them so we can get some footage too. That'll be perfect.
Yeah.
But you move very slowly. There's very few places you can really make decisions. Like you get a bow and arrow, but you really just shoot at like deer for hunting. There's never any combat.
Good.
There's a cool scene where you're on horseback or in a cart and you get to drive it. That's probably the best part. There's a big, really well done like giant coming after you. And then there's a few puzzles later on.
Look, the runes on the wall vanish as we move on.
But it's very, very little on actual gameplay. It's
Yeah.
more, and a lot of these VR games, I'd almost call them like interactive experience. And this is on Oculus. Well, you can play it on Vive, but you have to use the Xbox controller. And that takes something away too. So you're walking forward, you know. You didn't speak at all, but you could
Oh, Thor,
respond
how do
by
you feel?
nodding or shaking
Can
your
you
head,
walk?
which is a cool way to do a very simple. Hey, oh, did you do this when you were, and they change their dialogue based on what you say.
Could you imagine like this in a multiplayer thing where you can see their head move the thing? Just nod yes or no. And you go.
Yeah, so that game, it was fun, but you moved very slowly. You walked too slowly, and maybe that was to stop you from having any motion sickness. But it was almost annoying. Like, get this thing going. So that one was all right, but it wasn't room scale. It was really sitting there. If you move too far to the side, you look back, you see your headless body kind of thing. So there's that one. There's another one where I forget what it's called, but I'll put it up. It was basically a play where there was like some ballet involved, and they used actual motion capture on some dancers. It wasn't necessarily my cup of tea, but it was really cool to see, right? Because you're standing there and you do very limited, using the controllers to grab something out of the air and it moves to the next part of the play. But it was an interesting way to see the other things that you can do with the VR that isn't necessarily first-person shooter, any kind of game related, right? To see the dancer around you made of light and you're like watching them go all around and all was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a movie that came out a little bit ago. I forget the name of it, but essentially it's filmed entirely in first person, and the character, he's like, I think like a robot or a cyborg or something like that. But it's an action movie where you see in first person like him holding the guns and shooting everybody and just doing all these different.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the movie. But
they were almost going to do Doom that way originally.
yeah, they wanted to do it, but Bethesda didn't think it would be a good idea, or at the very least, they just didn't want to.
Bethesda, was it Bethesda back then?
It was sorry, not.
Id.
Oh,
Or
I
the-
thought you were talking about the Doom that just came out.
No, I mean the movie. They did a Doom movie like in the 90s, and they thought about doing the
Oh.
whole thing first person.
There was they were thinking about doing a segment entirely in first. In fact, I think they did do a segment in first person.
I think they did, but they thought about doing the whole movie, and they just thought it would be to really get you that video game first person shooter feel. But
Yeah, I am. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
I don't know if I ever have.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. Some people think it's good, some people think it's bad, but it can't be as bad as like the Resident Evil movie or the Silent Hill movies.
Yeah. So that was interesting, the ballet thing. The only thing is, it was like, I think they're going to come out with more additional episodes, but it was like $10, and I don't know if the $10 at this point gets you the additional stuff when it comes out, or
Is
each
it like
one-
episodic content or
Yeah,
something
but
like that?
$10 is a lot for some people dancing around you, So, but the next one, and everybody, when I read it online, said you got to get this. It's actually part of the Vive bundle now. It's called The Gallery Episode 1, something to the Starseed. I'll put it up. I should be better at this. I should have this written down. But it's friggin' great, dude. So you start off in this, I won't give too much away because we'll have you play it, but You sort of start off on the beach. The hand controls are amazing. This game had everything you want from VR. Room scale, you can walk around. The teleport system works well enough to take care of the limited room scale. Picking up objects, you get a backpack, you pull it off from over your back, and it opens up with all your stuff in it, so you can put stuff away and all. You pull stuff out of it. You have a flashlight, and you can, like I said, you can hold it up over your shoulder, pick up the piece of paper with a note from your sister on it, and have the flashlight in the dark sewer or whatever and read it. There's tapes you pick up and put in a little cassette player. It takes place in the 80s, and it'll play it, and you can hold it up to your ear, and it'll be louder, or your other ear, so you can hear it over the ambient sounds and everything else. Perfect.
One thing I would really, really love is I know Star Citizen is supposed to be coming out eventually. I would like to see a Star Citizen-esque game where it's like a very, very realistic first-person flight simulator for starships. I'd like to be able to awesome. Be able to physically start up a ship and with the VR controllers and like grab the throttle
and just, stuff. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, there was a couple of like levers and stuff in this you could pull. Well, and the other control stuff was great. I mean, I thought I lost something in the sewer, and I'm down like looking in the water trying to pick it up, and there was good puzzles in it. The last puzzle in the game has to do with like these fuses, or not really fuses, but what do you call it, capacitors or something like that.
Yeah.
And the different bars blocking your way or blocking this item you're trying to get have different values. And you need to look at a note, you get one value. You need to look at the other one, you get the other value. You realize you can kind of figure out yourself by trying different ones for the third one. And then they cross paths, so you need to figure out, well, if I put a 5 and a 10 here, no, this value is too high, so I'll put a 5 here, now this value is too low, so I'll put a 10 over here, now this one's right. It was an actual sort of mathematical puzzle that I thought was impressive.
That's great. You don't really see many thinking man's puzzles in a lot of current gen games.
Cool. But you're pulling the transistors or whatever they were out of the air because you're in this area with no gravity. This gives a little bit away, but you pull them by the air to do this thing. You release this thing, and then after that, it gets straight up sci-fi. And you go from starting on this beach to this very cool sci-fi kind of ending. I can't wait for the next one to come out. Dude, I'm telling you, it's everything you want in a VR game.
Oh god,
you're gonna play it next.
I gotta try that. But like, there are so many games I want to see on the VR, just because it would be so cool. Like Mass Effect, I would love a VR Mass Effect. I think just a narrative story would work great in VR. For one thing, you are the player. You can interact with everything in front of you. And the fact, just that is immersion enough to love it.
And it'll work with games where you have, what do you call the ones where you're always popping out to shoot at stuff?
Oh, cover-based shooters.
Cover-based shooters, yeah, because you can do that naturally. I've done that in raw data.
Yeah, you can physically get behind cover and then pop yourself out, or you can like corner shoot if you're really into that.
So that sort of stuff will work. And then the last game I played, I forgot about this one, and it's actually, I had it for a while. I just hadn't tried loading it up, but I had seen footage of it. Is Final Cut. You got to try that one too. Really well done. Again, just sort of it's like a pre-release alpha whatever right now, right? And it says that in big letters when you start it up. But the ability to move around this game world, you use a gun to shoot a pellet, and then you can teleport to where the pellet is. And at one point, I shot the pellet up into the ceiling. You're in an office building, and you're in the crawl space where below you have those panels you have in every regular office building. So I had to crouch. It said, to teleport to this space, you need to duck. So I ducked down, teleported up there because a robot was after me. And then I looked down. So I'm on the floor on all fours, knowing that my real floor is about an inch in front of my face, but looking down into the room below me where I could take out a knife and drop it down through that space and hit something if I wanted to. So you got to try that one too. It shows the potential. Again, the problem is these are so short. The gallery is only about 2 hours. Great, but 2 hours and you're done, right? For $30.
For $30?
Yeah. Final Cut, I forget how much it costs, but again, it's a play it for an hour, you've sort of seen everything. So that's the problem right now. I don't mind paying $30 for something really well done. I'd spend that at the movies if I wanted to go to the movies and see something on IMAX anyway. So I can see spending $30 for a really good 2 hour experience. But long term, what we expect from games now is you spend $60 and there's a replay value and all this. Witcher 3 cost me with DLC and all probably $80 or something, 90, and I got, you know,
Hundreds of hours of that.
200 something hours out of it. So I literally ended up paying, you know, 30, 40 cents an hour or something to actually play that game. So I think that's an issue, and that worries me a little bit to pay $30 for that. Now, again, I don't know if the $30 gets you the additional episodes. It's kind of like you're prepaying or not. I have to look into that. I just paid the money to try it. But we'll see. But
as we go on, and if we start seeing, you know, like third party support for it, like AAA support especially, will keep this going for a long time. However, if there is no like full like multi-million-dollar game directly made for these, I don't really see much of a future for VR. It's sort of like with the 3D goggles.
I hope it's different. I hope all the third-party stuff shows proof of concept, and then other studios come in and say this is worth doing. You know, it's got to be that this stuff is worth the money. For me, it was worth it. I can play Space Pirate Simulator or Train or whatever it's called. I could play that all day trying to beat my own high score. I love it. I love that I'm looking at these robots in the distance holding the gun. I could play raw data. There's plenty of stuff to play right now, but yeah, you got to get people willing to pay $800, you know, just for price of entry, have the video cards and everything to run it. Okay. See you next time, everybody.
Hey, have a good one.